the day I die. I'm every lady's fantasy. I'm the American guy. The trailer park is where I'm from. You better believe I have about 27 guns. Baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the American guy.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Grandpa Choco coming at you live from the West Coast, the smoky West Coast, the smoky West Coast. Welcome to episode 105 of the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast, the podcast that knows exactly what was going on upstairs at the Sheldon House. This is the podcast for September 11th, 2020. Of course, we want to start by remembering the events that happened 19 years ago and just the tragic events, and our thoughts and our prayers are with the first responders and to the people who perished in that tragedy and their families. But cannot let the day go by without mentioning that. But welcome to the Filsinger Games Fans Podcast. We've got a lot of news, some of it just breaking moments ago, which you might be able to tell because of the our little podcast logo there. But we want to start by, of course, thanking the patron producers of the show. These are the fine folks who, along with others, make these videos possible. They are patrons over at SaturdayMorningMedia.com. And that is, if you like these videos and you want to see them more, check out patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media, and you can join these fine folks that you see on your screen, as well as others, in making this show possible. All right, let's get to all the latest news, and ladies and gentlemen, there is a ton of news. We want to start with telling you what else is going on around the YouTube channel. We have a new overview. We've got the Mega Tournament 2102 set overview just posted, and a new promoter toolbox that breaks down exactly how to use the Create a Character feature. Not how to create a character. I'm not going into the rules of that. I would not deign to step into the hallowed ground that is creating a Champions of the Galaxy character, but or a Filsinger Games character. I'm just showing you how you can use the Create a Character function of Filsinger Games Online. So that's what that is, and there you go. You can check out both of those videos elsewhere in the YouTube channel. All right, we are going to start with Filsinger Games Independent Wrestling. Of course, the big set that's coming out is the Best of Indies Tag Teams 2020, and that is going to be coming out later this month. The big news, before we get into the announcements, the big news is all these games are available for pre-order right now. The pre-orders at filsingergames.com. You can go right now. You can pre-order all these games. I'll tell you what I pre-ordered as we continue here. The games will mail by September 30th, which I just think is interesting that that's the last day of September, but there you go. All right, here we go with the Indies news. The fourth duo to join the Best of Indies tag team game is the Wildcards, Tom Latimer and Royce Isaacs. If you collect my Championship Wrestling from Hollywood bootleg cards, Royce Isaacs looks very familiar to you. They first started teaming last April at the revival of the most prestigious tag team title tournaments, NWA, where they won the Wild Card Battle Royal to win the final spot in the tournament. Although they lost in the tournament final, a strong partnership was formed, and the pair went on to win one of the most storied tag team titles in history. The Wild Cards will be looking to challenge some of the top teams in the Indies, and, of course, are looking to settle the score with their rivalry with the legendary Rock and Roll Express. So there you go, the Wild Cards. Always great to see a Championship Wrestling from Hollywood guy get an official card, not just a crummy bootleg. So congratulations to both of them. No news on Indies Prime this week. There was supposed to be an announcement Wednesday, but for some reason or another, it didn't get posted. So we'll look forward to that in the future. Moving on now to Champions of the Galaxy. The Tournament of Champions cover was released. Sorry, this image is so small. Again, for whatever reason, I'm not 100% sure. All the other images that Filsinger Games release for Indies and for Legends, big, beautiful graphics. These graphics are kind of small. So unfortunately, for Champions of the Galaxy, this is the smallest, or this is the size that it'll going to be. I'm assuming that this is the cover of the book. I don't think that they're having boxes made. Maybe they are. I don't know. But there's lots of interesting things to look at on this cover. But first, a little blurb. The much anticipated Best of Champions of the Galaxy Tournament of Champions starter set. This commemorative starter set will celebrate 50 game editions of the main Champions of the Galaxy story. So that is, Todd made a clarification of this on the boards. Nothing before 2086. So even though there were some classic sets, they're not looking at that. These are just the main storyline additions. It'll feature 19 game cards and a handbook with not only descriptions of each character, but also information on the history of wrestling's greatest game. The starter set includes instructions, charts, and dice. It's a great way to get started with Champions of the Galaxy or just celebrate the legacy of the great game series. So, looking at this cover, we can tell a few things. We've got a few more announcements here of who's in there. Endgame, Wolf, no brainer. We popped ahead there. Star Warrior, Thanos, and Overmaster. But what's really interesting about this, I think, is featuring card art by Daryl Banks, Brian Michael Bendis, Chuck Carter, and Werner Meek. So that means we are going to have, obviously we have artwork for Dale Banks. We've already seen artwork by Dale Banks. Brian Michael Bendis is going to have some artwork on there, which I find very surprising. I'm wondering who the card is. Of course, I have my favorite. I would love to see Terminus, but I seriously doubt it's him. Chuck Carter. I'm very interested to see which Chuck Carter art that they use. And then, of course, Werner's fantastic. I believe Werner drew the Overmaster artwork, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but I think he did. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fantastic set. I have pre-ordered this. I did send in my pre-order. If we're looking at the roster so far, here's what we have: Matador of M83, Thunder, Wolf, Endgame, Star Warrior, Thanos, Overmaster, and then if you look down here, see, this is another reason why I was a little bummed that the artwork was so small, is that this guy is so small. He's so tiny. This is the new character, bonus new game character. Who is he? What's his secret? I don't know. I'm super interested to find out what Tom has in store for this guy. I'm wondering if it's some sort of... do you remember there was a GWF Z set character named Carson P. Century who could travel through time? I wonder if it's something like that, and he travels through time to fight all these people in thetheir prime. I don't know. We're going to find out. But there you go, and the new character's down there. We don't have a name for him yet. So we have... now, wait a minute. This thing says it's a 19 game cards. Oops. And this is 16, 17, 18. So maybe there's a third bonus character? Interesting. The numbers have kind of fluctuated a bit with this, with the stuff that they've released. Because initially they said 16 plus 2 bonus characters. Now on this post, which I'm reading directly from the website, it says 19. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out at the end of September. Moving along, the biggest news of all the releases, ladies and gentlemen, is Legends of Wrestling. We've got some fantastic, fantastic stuff. Of course, the big news... The big, absolute big news is Baron von Raschke was announced, going to be in the Hall of Fame set. Baron von Raschke is joining the Legends of Wrestling roster in the George Tragos and Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame set. Von Raschke was the star throughout the territory system, but became an icon in the Midwest. The Baron started off as a feared rule breaker, but ended his career as a fan favorite. He was a singles and tag team champion, teaming with The Crusher, Ivan Koloff, and Mad Dog Vachon, and battle stars such as the Road Warriors, Tony Atlas, and Jimmy Valiant. And that, promoters, is all the people need to know. So very exciting that Baron von Raschke is announced for the game. Shaping up to be a fantastic set. I have pre-ordered this. You better believe I put in my pre-order for this. Super excited for this one, and I know you are as well. Taking a look at the announced roster so far. Jack Briscoe, Dan Severn, Bob Roop, George Tragos, Jim Lundis, Baron von Raschke, Gerald Briscoe, Jerry Briscoe, announced with Jack at Galacticon, has not been announced officially. And there's still some talk of whether or not Danny Hodge is going to be in the set. People aren't going back and forth, but he's on the list temporarily, in parentheses, right now. Of course, things can change. As we've seen with the Filsinger Games Tournament of Champions set, things can change. So very exciting stuff here. As I said, I definitely have this pre-ordered. And right before we went on the air, we got a sneak peek at the quarter 3 for Legends Prime, including the spoiler will make his debut this quarter. The mysterious masked man competed around the globe during his outstanding career. He feuded with LOW talent such as Billy Red Lions, Red Bastion, Jack Briscoe, and Harley Race. The spoiler teamed with King Kong Bundy and the Road Warriors. Can a reunion be in the making? And also, no artwork, but territorial standout Rick McCord will make his Legends debut. McCord wrestled in the East Coast, South, and Midwest territories during his career. His high-flying scientific style is sure to delight fans everywhere. And then Filsinger Games dropping this little tidbit. As for the third competitor, we'll save that as a surprise for now. We can share that he is an award winner from the George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is what we reported last week. We reported that was happening. So very cool. The spoiler is in the mix there. Legends is shaping up to really be the winner of this quarter. And then, man, oh man, with the December set that's on the way, you better believe I am ready to kick my Legends Fed up a notch. So that is all the latest news. All of this stuff is available for pre-order right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can just head on over to filsingergames.com and pre-order the things that you are excited about. I myself, as I said, I picked up the Tournament of Champions just because I want to see what all the cards are and if there's any other new artwork. And, of course, all the Legends offering. Very excited for that. So let's take a look at the question of the show. This was last week's question. What is the best finisher mechanic of any Filsinger Games card? Answer in the comments below. So let's take a look at some of the answers. I said the original Hellfire from Bishop Hell. It was a DQ finisher, and to me, that was just like, this guy is a bad guy. That was the first time that we had a DQ finisher, and I was just like, man, oh man, this guy is trouble, and if he hits this, he's really, he's really done some damage. The great Pete Beck chimed in with the original Anarchy with Genna's Gate. 2-part finisher. If he didn't get you to submit, then dropping you with the second half. Fantastic. Thanks, Pete, for chiming in. Let's take a look at the question for this week. We've got a great question. If you could sign any legend to Legends of Wrestling for Filsinger Games, who would it be? Answer in the comments below. Very excited to see all of your comments and see what you have to say for that. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Be sure to follow GWF Promoter if you want to see what's going on in MyFeds. Lots of stuff going on in MyFeds. GWFpromoter.com. Or you can follow at GWF Promoter on Twitter or Instagram. Also, make sure you subscribe here on the YouTube channel. I tell you, the view hours, I'm watching the view hours each week go higher and higher. When I started really putting effort into this YouTube channel, we had maybe like 300 watch hours over the past year. We've already ballooned to way up past 700 watch hours in just the 2-3 weeks that I've been doing this. So thank you to you. Thank you for watching. And that's going to do it for this time. I would love your comments, would love your feedback. If you have a topic you would like the show to cover, leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe or follow, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, or follow GWF Promoter on social media at GWF Promoter. You can check out my personal feds at gwfpromoter.com and LOW Promoter. The theme song for this show is American Guy by Throwing Toasters, used by permission and available on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere you get your music. This podcast is not affiliated in any way with Filsinger Games or its subsidiaries. It is purely for entertainment purposes. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been great having you here. This episode is copyright 2020, Saturday Morning Media.
The trailer park is where I'm from. You better believe I have about 27 guns, baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the